Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all good. Welcome to my YouTube channel Current Affairs in Flux, and let's begin today's daily current affairs. September 17th, we observe World Patient Safety Day, and the theme for World Patient Safety Day is safe maternal and newborn care. And every year on September 17th it is observed as World Patient Safety Day, and this day is observed to create a global awareness for patient safety and recommend people to show their commitment to making their healthcare safer. And this day is established by the World Health Assembly in the year 2019. Here, the World Health Assembly, that is WHA, is the forum through which the WHO is governed by its 194 member states, and it is the world's highest health policy setting body, where it is composed of health minister from the member states. Next one, September 16th, we also yesterday we observe International Day for the preservation of the ozone layer, or World Ozone Day, and the theme for the World Ozone Day is Montreal Protocol, keeping us our food and vaccines cool. And this day is observed annually on the September 16th to spread awareness of the depletion of the ozone layer and search for solutions to preserve it. And here the ozone layer is a shield upon the sky, which shield like a gas which protects the earth from the harmful portion of the rays of the sun, the radiation or the radiations, which helping us to preserve our life on the planet. And this day is designated by the UNGA, that is United Nations General Assembly. Next one, Raja Randir Singh appointed as acting president of Olympic Council of Asia. Here the Raja Randir Singh is a five-time Olympic shooter and an Asian Games gold medalist in the year 1978. Now he is appointed as the acting president of Olympic Council of Asia, that is OCA. Uh, and the headquarters of OCA is Kuwait, and it is founded in the year 1982. And here the Raja Randir Singh has been a part of OCA as a Secretary General for 24 years since the year 1991. Next one, India to organize first ever global Buddhist conference in November. Here the India is host the first ever global Buddhist conference at the Navanalanda Mahavira campus in Nalanda, Bihar. And this conference is organized by the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, that is ICCR, and will be and this will be conducted as an annual feature. Here for this conference, the four regional conference in India and the four conference from the abroad will be organized. From the India, the Telangana, Sarant, Gangtok, and the Dharmashala are the places where this regional conference will be held. And in the abroad, Japan, South Korea, Thailand, and Cambodia will be the countries where this conference will be held. And this conference will be mainly focused on making India the center of Buddhism by promoting the Buddhist activities, cultures, seminars, and the people traveling for festivals like Buddha Purnima. And here the full form of ICCR is Indian Council for Cultural Relations, and this conference is held at Navanalanda Mahavira campus in Nalanda, Bihar. Next one, Nitin Gadkari launches AI powered road safety project iRaste. Here the full form of iRaste means Intelligent Solution for Road Safety through Technology and Engineering. Here, and this iRaste is a artificial intelligence powered project, that is AI powered project, and this project aims to help the reduce road accidents and also understand the factors which are responsible for the accidents. And it is also come up with a solution to solve these problems of the road accident. and this project has been launched as a pilot basis in Maharashtra, Nagpur, which aims in reducing the accidents by 50% in the city. And the main focus of this project will focus on the vehicle safety and mobility analysis and the road infrastructure safety, and which moves towards a vision zero accident scenario. Here the Union Minister of Road Transport and Highways is Nitin Gadkari. Next one, Tata Steel commissions India's first plant to capture carbon dioxide, that is CO2. Here that this Tata Steel plant captures the carbon dioxide directly from the blast furnace gas, uh, directly from the furnace gas at its plant. And the founder of the Tata Steel is Jamsetji Tata, and it is founded in the year 1907. And the MD and CEO of Tata Steel is TV Narendran, which is headquartered in Mumbai. Here and this is the India's first plant to capture the carbon dioxide, and this plant can capture about 5 tons of carbon dioxide per day. Next one, Kushinagar Airport declared as customs notified airport, and it is declared as a customs notified airport by the CBIC, that is Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. Here and it will also facilitate international passenger movements, including that of Buddhist pilgrims. Here the Kushinagar Airport is an international airport which spread across of 600 acres of area, and it is and it is got the license to operate international flights by the DGCA in the last month of February. Here the chairperson of CBIC is M. Ajit Kumar, and it is founded in the year 1964. Here the customs notified airport means where it is an airport where the authority of the country which shall be the airports for unloading of the imported goods and loading of the export goods of any class of such goods will be happen in this airport, which means import and exports of for the international places will be happen in this airport. And this airport name is Kushinagar Airport. Next one, India Africa Defense Dialogue to be held on March 2022 at Gujarat DefExpo. The government of India has proposed the biennial DefExpo military exhibition, and for the upcoming year March 2022, the India Africa Defense Dialogue will be held in Gujarat in the March 2022. And the theme for this defense dialogue is India Africa adapting strategy for synergizing and strengthening defense and security council. And this is the second defense dialogue which is going to be held in the March 2022, and the first India Africa defense dialogue was held in the month of February in the year 2020 in Lucknow. And this dialogue will help build on existing partnerships between the Africa and the India countries, and it will also explore new areas for the mutual engagements. Next one, the US, UK, and Australia has announced the new partnership called AUKUS, that is A for Australia, UK for United Kingdom, US for United States. AUKUS. Here these three countries have announced a trilateral partnership, new trilateral partnership called AUKUS, and they formed this partnership for the Indo-Pacific region. And this partnership is announced by the Prime Minister of UK Boris Johnson, and the Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison, and the President of US Joe Biden. And this trilateral, and they have announced this partnership with a vision for a safer and more secure Indo-Pacific. And the first project of AUKUS will be to help the Australia acquire a nuclear-powered conventionally armed submarine fleet. Next one. SpaceX launches first all tourist crew into orbit. Here the mission is called Inspiration 4. Here the SpaceX Inspiration 4. Here the Inspiration 4 is a mission which is ongoing, which which was held and which was launched by the SpaceX into the orbit with all the new tourists. It is the first ever orbital flight entirely by the tourist, and the SpaceX rocket is launched from the NASA's Kennedy Space Center, where the passenger where the passengers in this rocket will be spend 3 days on this mission in the space at an altitude of 350 miles. And the founder and CEO of SpaceX is Elon Musk, and is Elon Musk. It is founded in the year 2002. And the headquarters of SpaceX is at California, USA. And the four persons who went in this mission are Jared Isaacman, who is a billionaire, and he was the person who financially who financed this trip for everyone, every other three persons also. And the next one is Haile Arsenex, who is a childhood cancer survivor, and Cian Proctor, who is a 51 years of age and a geologist, and Chris Sembroisky, who is a 42-year-old, and then he is an employee, and he is a big space fan. Next one. Ford becomes the largest US car manufacturer to exit India. Here, the Ford Motor Company has announced that it would stop producing cars in India as the global auto industry countries. As the global auto industry countries to grapple with a shortfall in semiconductors and other components due to supply chain disruptions. And the founder of this company is Henry Ford. It is founded in the year 1903, and the CEO is Jim Farley, and which is headquartered in Michigan, United States. And the other US companies that have stopped this operations in India are Ford America rival General Motors and the Harley Davidson motorcycle company. Next one. Zimbabwe's Braden Taylor announces retirement from the international cricket. Here, the Braden Taylor is a skipper and the wicket keeper come batsman, and he announced his retirement from all the forms of international cricket. And he was in the cricket for about 17 years, and he first made his debut for the Zimbabwe team in the year 2004. Next one. UNESCO Literacy Prize awarded to NIOS for innovation in education. Here, the NIOS means National Institute of Open Schooling. And this NIOS is run by the Education Ministry, and it has bagged the UNESCO's Literacy Prize for innovation in education. And this recognition is for educating differently abled people through technology enabled inclusion learning materials. And the headquarters the Ministry of Education is under Dharmendra Pradhan, and the UNESCO headquarters is at Paris, France, and it is founded in the year 1945. And the Director General of UNESCO is Audrey Azoulay. Next one. Bhanumati Giwala to get National Florence Nightingale Award 2021. Here, the Bhanumati Giwala is a nurse in the Sir Sayajirao General Hospital, which is in Gujarat, and she has been in charge of COVID-19 positive pregnant women's deliveries as well as the infant care. And she worked in the gynecology department and as well as in the pediatric ward. And she got the National Florence Nightingale Award 2021. Here, this award is given by the Indian Nursing Council, and this medal was meant to awarded to those who have excelled in profession of nursing. And the Indian Nursing Council is a agency under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, which to recognize the contributions of healthcare workers. And the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare is under Manshuk Mandavia. Next one, PM Modi, Mamata Banerjee, and Adar Poonawalla are among the world's 100 most influential people of 2021 by Times Magazine. Here now, the Times Magazine has unveiled its the annual list of the 100 most influential people of 2021. In this list, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Chief Minister of West Bengal Mamata Banerjee and the CEO of SII, that is Serum Institute of India, Adar Poonawalla, have been named among the world's 100 most influential people 2021 by Time Magazine. And uh, to give the list of members into this magazine, they have divided these categories into 6 parts. And if you see from the global side, who are the persons who has accumulated in this Times Magazine list also. We see US President Joe Biden and the Vice President Kamala Harris, and the Chinese President Xi Jinping, and the former US President Donald Trump also accumulated his position under the 100 most influential people of 2021 by Times Magazine. Next one, UNCTAD projects Indian economy to expand 7.2 percentage in the year 2021. Here the UNCTAD means United National Conference on Trade and Development. It projects the India's economic growth for this year would be 7.2 percentage, and and it has projected last year at the same time. It is projected that 7 percentage in the year 2020, and it is a positive growth if you see in terms of years. And and it says at this rate India would be the fastest growing economy after China. Next one, eminent Kashmiri writer Aziz Hazini passes away. The Aziz Hazini is a writer and a former secretary of Jammu and Kashmir Academy of Art, Culture and Languages. Recently, he passes away, and now he was appointed as a secretary of Jammu and Kashmir of Art, Culture and Languages in the year 2015. And he has also over 20 books in Kashmiri in his credit, including poetry and criticism. And he also won the Sahitya Academy Award in the year 2016. Next one. Thank you everyone. Stay safe, stay strong.